Hello! Hey there, English learners. So glad you found your way here to the English TalkLift Podcast, your warm, friendly space to grow your English through real, natural conversations. I'm Sara.
And I'm Jake. We are genuinely glad you're with us right now.
Jake, before we dive in, how are you feeling today?
Honestly, pretty good. Something small happened this morning that just kind of settled me.
Oh yeah? Tell me.
I was standing in a queue at a coffee shop, and the person ahead of me noticed I only had one item. They said, "Go ahead, yours is quick." No drama, no big gesture, just a simple, thoughtful moment. It reminded me that little things really do add up.
A simple, thoughtful moment. I love how those stay with you longer than you expect.
They really do. What about you? How's your morning been?
Mine's been a little scattered, honestly. I kept rushing from one thing to the next. Then I made myself stop, sit down, hold my cup of tea with both hands, and just breathe for 60 seconds. Just 60 seconds. And somehow everything felt a little more manageable after that.
60 seconds. It's amazing what a tiny pause can do.
And maybe you...
Yes, you listening right now, maybe you could use one of those tiny pauses too. A small moment to come back to yourself.
Which actually connects perfectly to what we're exploring today.
It really does. Today's topic is how to love yourself more than anyone else. And before anyone worries, we don't mean that in an arrogant or self-centered way. We mean it in a healthy, grounded way, respecting yourself, showing up for yourself, not disappearing just to make everyone else comfortable.
Also, a quick note on level. This is a B1 episode.
So if you're at an intermediate level, this is right in your zone. And if you're a strong beginner, don't stress. You can absolutely follow along.
Exactly. Just absorb what makes sense to you. Repeat the lines that feel useful, and let the rest flow past you like music in the background. That counts as learning too.
It absolutely does. And to make this practical, we'll walk you through some real, usable self-love habits.
Like what to say to yourself on a tough day, how to create healthy limits with people, and how to stop being so critical of yourself, one step at a time.
And we'll use real situations, work, family, friendships, messages, everyday moments. So this feels like real life, not a lecture.
Oh, and before we forget, if you enjoy what we do here at the English TalkLift Podcast, please hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps us reach more learners around the world.
And after this episode, drop a comment, just one line. What's one small way you want to be gentler with yourself this week?
One honest sentence. That's all. We'd love to read it.
And because this is the English TalkLift Podcast, we'll close today with our Calm Word Tour, where we slow everything down, revisit the key words and phrases from the episode, and explain them with easy examples so they actually stick.
But first, take one easy breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth.
There's no pressure here. You don't need to absorb everything at once. Just be present with us.
All right, let's get into our first idea.
And as we go, no rushing. Let each thought land at its own pace.
Exactly. Let it settle. The first thing we want to share sounds simple, but it really does shift things.
Okay, I'm with you.
Here's something worth sitting with. The way you treat yourself becomes the standard.
Right, it's like an unspoken rule you carry everywhere. You never say it out loud, but other people pick up on it.
Yes, think of it like an invisible price tag. Not money, but worth.
Oh, I like that framing. Because when you clearly know your own worth, the people around you tend to reflect that back to you.
But when you're not so sure of it yourself, you start accidentally teaching people things you never meant to teach.
Like when you keep agreeing to things even when every part of you wants to say no.
Exactly. People start thinking, oh, Sarah's always free. Sara always says yes.
And at first, it almost sounds like a good thing, right? Like you're helpful, dependable, easy to be around.
Sure, but over time, helpfulness becomes a habit, and habits harden into expectations, and suddenly you're the person who never says no, even on the days when you're completely running on empty.
Right.
And one day you look around, exhausted and stretched thin, wondering how things got this way.
Yeah, I've been there. Can I share something?
Please do.
A few years back, a friend of mine had this habit of sending me messages late at night. Not every single night, but often enough. And I would always reply, even when I was half asleep, even when I had an early morning. I kept telling myself it was fine, that I was just being a good friend.
But that kind of being a good friend slowly starts emptying you out, little by little.
That's exactly what happened. And then one evening, I just didn't reply for about an hour. Just 1 hour. The next day, my friend asked where I'd been, in this serious, almost offended tone, like I'd broken a rule.
That's the moment you realize the expectation has already formed.
Yeah, without meaning to, I had trained people to expect me to always be immediately available. I didn't decide to do that. I just didn't decide not to.
So the lesson here isn't to stop being caring, it's that caring needs edges. Kindness needs a shape.
And the word for that shape is boundaries.
In English, a boundary is your personal limit, what feels okay to you and what doesn't. And importantly, a boundary isn't a wall, it's more like a door.
A door, yes. You can still be open, still be warm, but you're the one deciding who enters, when they stay, and when the door closes so you can breathe.
And here's what a lot of people notice when they first start setting boundaries. Some people get really uncomfortable with it.
Especially the ones who were used to having unlimited access to you.
And that doesn't mean those people are terrible. It just means they've gotten used to a version of you that had no edges. And now you have edges.
And you're learning to be okay with that.
Right. And when you raise your standard, something inside you has to shift first.
Because boundaries aren't just about managing other people. They're rooted in what you believe you actually deserve.
Which brings us to something deeper. Self-worth.
Self-worth means you believe you have value as a person, as a human being, even on the hard days.
Not only when your English is flowing perfectly or when you've been incredibly productive.
Not only when you look your best or everything goes smoothly.
So many people tie their worth to things like money, achievements, or how much others approve of them.
That word approval, or what we call validation.
Validation means other people confirming that you're good, that you matter, that you're doing okay.
And of course that feels good, but when you rely on it constantly, you become easy to unsettle.
Because one negative comment, one person who doesn't like you, and your whole sense of self wobbles.
I had this moment once where I shared something online, nothing major, and someone left a rude reply. My entire mood changed in seconds. It was like they had a remote control pointed at my feelings.
That image is so real. One press and the whole atmosphere shifts.
And then I thought, wait, why does a stranger I've never met have this much power over how I feel about myself?
Because you were measuring your worth using someone else's ruler.
Exactly. So here's a sentence worth keeping. My worth is not up for debate.
And here's another one. I am enough, even while I'm still growing.
That one feels like exhaling. It takes the pressure off.
And when you really start to believe that, you stop performing for an invisible crowd.
You stop living for an audience that may not even be paying attention.
And then you can actually begin to know yourself.
Because here's the honest question. How do you love yourself if you don't actually know yourself?
You can't. It starts with self-awareness.
Self-awareness means you can notice your own feelings, your patterns, your needs, without immediately judging them.
And I love this idea of triggers. It's like a switch. Something happens and click, a strong feeling rushes in.
Like someone makes one passing comment and suddenly you feel defensive or small or hurt.
Right. So here's a useful exercise. Ask yourself 2 questions. What drains me and what fills me back up?
To drain means your energy slowly disappears, like a phone going from 100% down to nothing.
For me, scrolling through negative news drains me fast.
Same. And honestly, some conversations drain me too, even with people I like.
Yeah, some chats feel like someone quietly unplugging your charger while you're not looking.
a silent charger thief. It's funny, but it's also completely true.
And self-awareness means noticing that, not criticizing yourself for it, just observing.
You don't think, I'm terrible for feeling drained. You think, okay, that took a lot from me. I should be thoughtful about how much I give there.
So try giving yourself small, quiet moments. Writing in a journal, taking a walk, sitting without your phone for 10 minutes.
It's like cleaning a foggy window. Once it's clear, you can finally see what's actually out there.
When the window is cloudy, everything looks distorted and a bit threatening.
And when your mind is foggy, your choices get blurry too.
So this isn't about being perfect. It's about seeing yourself with honesty, clearly, and without cruelty.
And once you start seeing yourself clearly, you'll probably notice a habit, one that's really common.
The over-apologizing habit.
Yes, and it's so automatic for most people that they don't even catch themselves doing it.
It becomes like a reflex. You do it without thinking.
Like you're pre-shrinking yourself before anyone even asks you to do it. Shrinking is a great word for it.
And you hear it all the time. Sorry for speaking, sorry for asking, sorry for needing a moment.
Of course, if you genuinely made a mistake, apologize. That's completely appropriate. But don't apologize just for taking up space.
Because when you say sorry too often for normal things, the message underneath is, I don't deserve to be here.
And you do deserve to be here.
I had a coworker once, incredibly thoughtful person, but every single message they sent started with, sorry, even when they were doing me a favor. And I remember thinking, you don't have to make yourself smaller to deserve kindness.
You don't have to disappear to be likable.
Because sorry can quietly turn into a way of asking permission to exist, and you don't need that permission.
And the right people, the ones worth keeping, won't ask you to vanish.
And when you stop apologizing so much, something else tends to surface.
That inner voice that's been waiting.
Right. The moment you stand up a little taller, something in your head goes, and who exactly do you think you are?
That's the inner critic, and it's worth talking about directly.
Negative self-talk. Let's go there.
Let's go inside the mind.
The inner critic is the voice that says things like, you always get it wrong. You're not cut out for this. And the frightening thing is how quickly we accept it as fact.
Like it's truth, not just a thought that happened to show up.
And once you believe it, you start acting as if it's true. You make yourself smaller, you stop trying, you pull back.
So here's a simple but powerful shift. Speak to yourself the way you'd speak to someone you love.
Because you would never look your closest friend in the eye and say, you're useless, you always fail. But we say those things to ourselves on a Tuesday afternoon without a second thought.
It's like living with a bully, except this one lives inside your own head.
And you can't just leave. That's what makes it hard.
So we have to change the voice from the inside.
When a harsh thought appears, don't wrestle with it. Just gently question it. Ask, is this a fact or is this fear?
That one question can completely change the direction of a thought spiral.
Because fear is like fog. It makes everything feel larger and more dangerous than it is.
Oh, my mind loves to be dramatic. One small error and suddenly it's directing a disaster film.
And facts are like a flashlight. They cut through and show you what's actually real.
So when something goes wrong, don't treat it as evidence of your worth. Treat it as information.
Like, okay, noted. I'll approach this differently next time.
That's it. Mistakes are stepping stones. They're not your identity.
And when your inner voice softens, boundaries actually become easier to hold.
Because now you're not setting them from a place of anger or resentment. You're setting them from a place of self-respect.
And self-respect changes the texture of no. It stops being a confrontation and becomes a decision.
And this is where a lot of genuinely kind people get stuck. Not because they don't understand the concept,
but because when they finally do it, the guilt rushes in.
Yes, guilt has a very loud voice. It says, you're being selfish, you're letting people down.
But saying no when you mean no is not unkind. Sometimes it's the most honest thing you can offer.
Here are some phrases you can borrow whenever you need them. I'm not free today, but thank you for thinking of me. This week is full for me. I need tonight to rest. Notice, short, clear, and warm. No lengthy justification required.
Because over-explaining is its own kind of trap.
It really is. It turns into a whole document titled, "Please don't be upset with me."
Exactly. And when you start saying no and not following it with a paragraph of apology, something opens up.
Space.
And in that space, you remember what it feels like to actually want to do things, not just feel obligated.
Because joy needs room. When every corner of your life is packed with obligation, even the good things struggle to breathe.
And when you're always rushing, always smoothing things over, always explaining, you stop noticing the small good things happening right in front of you.
Right. And when you have a little space back, you remember something important.
Happiness isn't a bonus. It's part of the whole picture.
A lot of people treat happiness like it's dessert, something you get after everything else is done.
Like it's earned only after every problem is solved.
But happiness is part of staying healthy, emotionally and physically.
And you don't need everything to be perfect to feel small moments of it.
Small joy counts. A quiet coffee in the morning, a walk with no destination, a room that feels tidy, a song that somehow knows exactly what you needed to hear.
A message from someone who gets you. Sunlight landing on your hands. A genuine laugh.
Those count. Those really do count. And don't let the world around you decide what your happiness should look like.
Because what feels like freedom to one person can feel suffocating to another.
So ask yourself honestly, what makes me feel alive? Not what should, not what looks impressive online, what actually does.
And a lot of times, the reason we keep postponing feeling good is because we're chasing perfection first.
Perfection, that old trap.
Once everything is in order, then I'll allow myself to rest. Then I'll be happy.
And the problem is that once everything is in order, never really comes, does it?
The finish line keeps relocating. That's the nature of perfection. It moves.
And social media makes this so much worse because you're comparing your real, messy, ordinary Tuesday to someone else's carefully edited highlight.
You're not seeing their hard days. You're not seeing their worry or their doubt. You're just seeing the frame they chose.
So stop measuring your life against filtered images. Measure it against your own values. What actually matters to you?
And when you live by your values, you naturally start protecting what keeps you going.
Your energy is not infinite.
It really isn't. You can't keep pouring from yourself endlessly and then act confused when you're empty.
Even the most caring, generous people burn out. It's not a character flaw. It's just reality.
And I think a lot of people listening to this right now aren't lazy. They're not unmotivated. They're just genuinely worn out.
Yes, so this is a gentle but serious reminder. Protect your energy.
Not in a way that closes you off from people. More like, I want to stay well so I can keep showing up.
Because your environment matters deeply. The people around you, the content you consume, the spaces you spend time in, they all affect how you feel inside.
Some connections feel like sunlight. Others leave you tense before you even said hello.
Yeah, you notice it in your body before your brain catches up. Your shoulders go tight. You start editing everything you say. You feel smaller than you did when you walked in.
And if someone consistently makes you feel that way, pay attention to that signal.
It doesn't automatically make them a bad person, but it does mean that particular dynamic isn't good for you.
And sometimes people just don't grow in the same direction. That's not a failure. It's just life.
And you don't need a dramatic confrontation to create distance. Sometimes you just step back.
Gradually, quietly.
A little more breathing room, a little more of yourself back.
Peace is a choice you can make.
And when you choose it, you get stronger, more resilient.
When you're stronger, you bounce back from hard moments.
To bounce back means you recover after something difficult, a failure, a rejection, a rough week that felt like it would never end.
And I love this phrase because it doesn't mean the hit doesn't land. It means you get up.
And people who care for themselves tend to bounce back faster because they don't bury themselves under shame after something goes wrong.
They don't launch into that long internal speech. I'm worthless, I always do this, nothing ever changes.
Instead, they say, that was genuinely hard, and I'm still here.
And then they look for one small win. Not a transformation, just something small.
I got out of bed. I replied to one email. I stepped outside for 5 minutes.
Those are real wins. Celebrate them.
Because small wins compound. They build something underneath you.
It's like laying a floor one tile at a time. One tile doesn't look like much, but eventually you're standing on something solid.
And those tiles help on the bad days because you can tell yourself, I've gotten through hard things before. I can do it again.
And to bounce back with that kind of quiet confidence, there's one more thing we need.
Forgiveness.
Forgive yourself. Because honestly, so many people are carrying old guilt, mistakes from years ago, words they can't take back, choices they wish they'd made differently.
And they've carried it so long, it starts to feel like part of who they are. But it isn't.
It makes every day heavier. Even ordinary days feel harder than they should.
And forgiving yourself doesn't mean saying everything was fine or that it doesn't matter.
It means I'm human. I was doing what I knew how to do then. I've learned something, and now I can move forward.
You stop replaying the moment on a loop. You stop adding new punishment to old pain.
You keep the lesson. You put down the weight.
That is such a freeing thing to say. You deserve a fresh beginning.
You really do. And if something we said today landed somewhere tender,
You're already doing some just breathe, you're okay thing right by being here.
and now, as we always do here on the English TalkLift Podcast, it's time for our Calm Word Tour.
This is where we slow all the way down, collect the important words and phrases from today, and explain them with clear, simple examples.
You can replay the section as many times as you need. Let the words settle.
All right, let's go through them.
First, standard. Your standard is what you personally accept and what you don't. It's your internal rule. Example, my standard is honesty. If someone is regularly dishonest with me, I step back. Or, my standard is calm conversation. I don't engage when someone is being aggressive.
Next, available. Available means you have time or space to respond or help. Example, I'm not available tonight. I need to recharge. Or, are you available for a short call tomorrow?
Reliable. Reliable means people can count on you. You follow through on what you say. Example, she's reliable. When she says she'll be there, she's there. Or, I want to be reliable, but I also need to protect my time. Boundaries. Boundaries are your personal limits, what feels okay to you and what doesn't. Example, my boundary is no work messages after 9 p.m. Or, I set a boundary with that friendship, and I feel so much calmer now.
Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable means you feel uneasy or tense, not relaxed. Example, she looked uncomfortable when I said no for the first time. Or, I feel uncomfortable in very loud, crowded spaces.
Self-worth. Self-worth means you believe you have value as a person, even on your difficult days. Example, my self-worth doesn't collapse because of one bad day. Or, I'm working on my self-worth, learning to treat myself with the same care I give others.
Validation. Validation is when other people confirm that you're okay, that you're good enough. It's external approval. Example, I appreciate validation, but I'm working on not depending on it. Or, when you always need validation, your confidence becomes very fragile.
Fragile. Fragile means easily hurt or broken. We use it for objects and for feelings. Example, before I worked on my self-worth, my confidence was very fragile. Or, after that criticism, my mood felt fragile for days.
Criticize. To criticize means to point out what's wrong with something, often in a harsh or negative way. Example, my manager criticized my presentation, but I learned something valuable from it. Or, try not to criticize yourself every time you make a small mistake.
Apologize. To apologize means to say sorry when you've done something wrong. Example, I apologized for arriving late and we moved on. And today we also said, don't apologize just for existing.
Inner critic. Your inner critic is the voice inside that tells you you're not good enough. Example, my inner critic told me I'd fail, but I tried anyway, and it went well. Or, when my inner critic gets loud, I pause and ask whether what it's saying is actually true.
Negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is the harsh, unkind way we sometimes speak to ourselves internally. Example, I'm replacing my negative self-talk with more honest and kinder language. Or, negative self-talk makes ordinary problems feel enormous.
Selfish. Selfish means you only think about yourself and ignore the needs of others. But taking care of yourself is not selfish. Example, resting when you're tired isn't selfish, it's responsible. Or, setting a limit isn't selfish, it's honest. Crash. Emotionally, to crash means your mood drops suddenly and sharply. Example, when she didn't respond, I crashed and spent the rest of the day feeling low. Or, after that conversation, my confidence completely crashed.
Self-awareness. Self-awareness means you can observe your own feelings, patterns, and reactions honestly. Example, self-awareness helped me notice I was agreeing to things I didn't actually want to do. Or, I'm developing my self-awareness through journaling and quiet reflection.
Trigger. A trigger is something that causes a strong emotional reaction very quickly. Example, that comment was a trigger. I felt my whole body tense up. Or, large crowds are a trigger for my anxiety.
Drain. To drain means something slowly takes your energy away. Example, reading negative news before bed drains me. Or, certain kinds of conversations really drain me, even when I care about the person. Guilt. Guilt is the uncomfortable feeling that you've done something wrong. Example, I felt guilt after saying no, but I reminded myself that it was the right call. Or, guilt can be very loud, but it isn't always accurate.
And our final word, regret. Regret is the sadness you feel about something you did or didn't do. Example, I regret not speaking up earlier, but I'm learning now. Or, I don't want to carry regret, so I'm choosing to start fresh.
That was our calm word tour. Replay it whenever you want. Try using one of those words in a sentence today, even just in your head.
And remember, you're still learning. That's not a weakness. That's literally the whole point of being here.
Okay, before we go, let's leave you with just one thought.
One thought. Not a list, just one.
If you take only one thing from today, let it be this. The way you treat yourself shows others how to treat you.
You don't need to change everything this week. Just pick one small thing.
Maybe one limit you've been meaning to hold. Maybe one gentler sentence when your mind starts going harsh on you. Maybe one no, clean, clear, and without 3 paragraphs of apology.
And if you want to make it real, leave us a comment.
Just finish this sentence. This week I will...
In your own words, one line is perfect. We read every single comment and they genuinely inspire other learners too.
And if today's episode meant something to you, please like and subscribe. It lets YouTube know this kind of content is worth sharing.
We are really proud of you for staying with us all the way to the end.
This is Sarah.
And this is Jake, and you've been listening to the English TalkLift Podcast.
See you next time. Bye.
Your growth doesn't stop here. Keep going. Click on the next video or check out the other episodes we've put together just for you.